Yes, I need the mic. I feel like a stand-up comedian every time they make me use a mic. My name is Wyatt. I'm a sergeant with the Highway Patrol. I've been with the Highway Patrol for about 15 years. Of those 15 years, I've spent 13 on the SWAT team, and of those 13, for the last 4.5, I've been the team leader. So you may remember about 2 years ago, somebody put an RV through the front doors of UDOT and Department of Public Safety's headquarters. And what a lot of people don't know is he had some firearms inside the RV, and they believe his intention was to get out and start shooting, but he wasn't able to do that for a couple different reasons. After that happened, the governor came to the Commissioner of Public Safety and said, hey, what are we doing to train state employees? And Commissioner of Public Safety came to me and said, yeah, what are we doing? So here I am. I've taught this class a lot, probably close to 80 to 90 times all over the state to a lot of different entities. You name it, from schools. I did some for Charlene up in Davis County, which was interesting because I did one for her library employees and what happened 2 days ago. We had a shooting in New Mexico at a library. So I've taught it at colleges, and then I teach the same topic to every new officer that is hired in the state of Utah and goes to the police academy. So we'll go through it. I'm going to cut a few things out because we're a little bit limited on time today, including this very first slide. This is a video about anti-terrorism. It's available on the Department of Public Safety's website. It's actually a pretty good little video, maybe to show some of your employees, kind of along that, if you see something, say something line. So we won't watch it here, but you can find that on the Department of Public Safety's website if you're interested. So, my other assignment is obviously in the training division, so I do firearms instruction, stuff like that. And then I do helicopter rescue stuff, so fly around helicopters, dope on the rope, put on the cable, pull people out of slot canyons. Anybody from southern Utah? Okay, so we go down there all the time and pull people out of slot canyons because they get themselves in all sorts of stupid situations. But the best part is my last month I've spent at the homeless shelter at Operation Rio Grande, pushing them to outlying counties, as Charlene pointed out, right? So, but we're trying to make it better down there. It's been an experience, I'll tell you that much. So, that's where I am, that's who I am for 5 more years, and then I'm going back to Idaho. Okay. So here's the objectives today. We're going to talk a little bit about preventing an incident, but I'm going to skip over some of this because we simply can't prevent everything. You can have the best laid plans in the world. You can do everything right. You can be aware of your surroundings, and you can still find yourself in a bad situation, right? So we're going to spend the majority of our time about surviving an ongoing incident. We'll talk a little bit about post-incident issues, kind of what to expect from the cops and what it might look like. We're going to do some medical stuff, more of an introduction, not really training, just kind of introduce you to some things that you might want to get some training on. Do I have any paramedics or EMTs? Doctors? Nurses? Okay. So I can tell you whatever I want. You guys are like, oh, that sounds good. You don't know any better. And then we'll talk a little bit about firearms and what your employees can and can't do. Obviously, this is where most of the questions come in. So I don't want any knockdown, drag-out fights like I had at UDOT with the anti-firearm and the pro-firearm crowd. It's going to be done respectfully, right? Okay, so a quick definition of an active shooter. It's just an event where people are losing their lives or in danger of losing their lives. Okay? I say active shooter. Does it have to be a gun? No, could I come in here with a baseball bat and cause all sorts of problems? A knife, right? Deadly force is deadly force. It's the force that's likely to cause death or serious bodily injury. Doesn't matter if it's a firearm, a knife, whatever. But I'll default to active shooter. But when I say that, I'm talking about anything, right? Somebody comes in here with a sword, starts hacking people up. Same difference, and we deal with it in the same fashion. Okay, so as I was putting this together, then I got, then all the admin got involved, and they're like, okay, you're going to scare people, and people will stop coming to work, and and you can't show any gross pictures and no videos that are disgusting. And I'm like, well, I can do that, but I'm not going to sugarcoat things either. Okay? And I can't teach you how to survive a shooting without talking about being shot or being shot at. Okay? That's just the way it is. And so I found this quote, and it is exactly what I was looking for. Just because something makes us fearful, right? This has a laser pointer on it, fancy. Just because something makes us fearful doesn't mean we can ignore it. Okay? We have to face it head on and talk about it. Otherwise, you're not going to get the correct information out there, right? Without getting too graphic, it's like having that sex talk with your kids, right? You just got to put it out there. Tiptoe around it, you're never going to get the information they need, okay? So we're just going to dig down into it and get right at it. But me being a bit of a cynic and a cop, right? The most mind-blowing thing about this quote to me was that Canada had a space program. Wow, right? I didn't know. I didn't know Canada had a space program. I was like, well done, Canada. Anybody ever heard of an OODA loop? An OODA loop, O-O-D-A, it's right here on the side. Observe, Orient, Decide, Act, O-O-D-A. This was it's not a new thing, but Colonel Boyd was an Air Force pilot. He flew Air Force in Vietnam and came back, and they wanted him to teach dogfighting to Air Force pilots. And they said, have at it. And he said, okay, let's define the way people think. Now, there's all sorts of psychology texts that have different, the 3P model, there's a 5D model, whatever, pick one. I like this one. But he said basically, you as an individual, as a human being, anytime you make a decision to do something, you go through this process. You observe, you orient, you make that decision, and you act on it. Okay? Super simple example, narrow hallway. I'm walking down the hallway, somebody's coming at me. Too narrow for both of us to pass. What do? One person steps this way, and what does the other guy inevitably do? Steps the same way, right? And then you're like, juking each other out, right? Until somebody finally goes, and you squeeze by each other. All that is both of you at the same time observing, hey, this hallway's too narrow for two people. You both make a decision, you orient yourself to it, and make a decision to step left. Unfortunately, the other guy stepped right, and you act, right? Athletes go through this all the time. If you think about like football, you're a running back, you get that handoff, you run towards the line, and a free safety steps up in that hole that your lineman had created for you. Now you have to make a decision. You have to reorient yourself and make a new decision. Do I try to go outside? Do I try to catch the corner? Do I run the free safety over? Right? There's all these decisions that you have, and you're like, well, this is stupid. What is this? What does this have to do with active shooter? Okay, we use this in police work all the time. Whoever can get through this loop the fastest generally wins. Okay? So if a bad guy were to come into your facility and start killing people, where is he in this loop? He's acting, right? Where are you in this loop? Observing. Could you be ahead? Yes, could you make observations ahead of time and make decisions ahead of time before the shooting starts? Absolutely, right? And all that is risk management, right? Plans laid out ahead of time to deal with an incident that's going to happen. The interesting thing about this loop is anytime it gets reset, no matter where you are, you go back to the beginning. You have to reorient yourself, make new decisions, and then act on those new decisions. So bad guys in here acting, we're here, maybe we've already made some plans, and now all we have to do is go A, B, C, or D. Okay? And there's a good chance that at some point in this acting phase, the bad guy's going to get reset by something. Maybe it's one of you that resets him. Maybe it's a police officer. Maybe it's something as simple as a locked door. Okay, if I come in here and I'm expecting, why did bad guys go to elementary schools? Yeah, easy targets, right? Do they come to police stations? No, because that doesn't end so well, right? They want those easy victims, and if we can do anything to stop that or slow them down, it resets their loop. He comes to a door, it's locked. Crap, I didn't expect the store to be locked. I'm back to my making new decisions, observing, orienting, and have to find a way into the room or find somewhere else to go. Okay, and that's as simple as it gets. We're going to refer back to this as we go through all this. Okay, this is a video called Run, Hide, Fight. It's by Houston PD. There are a few things in this video that I don't agree with, that I don't really care for. You guys will probably pick them up. And there have been, this is like one of the original videos, there have been a ton of videos since then that are very similar to this. But the premise, the basic premise of most of them is the same. So it's called Run, Hide, Fight. Has anybody ever heard that before, Run, Hide, Fight? So it's starting to be a lot more common, but it's taken years for us to get to that point. So we'll watch this and then we'll talk about it a bit. I don't know, can you guys see that in the back, or do we want to try to kill some lights? Oh, he's got lights back there, sweet. I think it'll just play if I push it, maybe not. Oh no. Okay, it's gonna load on YouTube. Get the load. I'm a computer moron, by the way.
Started right out.
Oh, that's the one before. That's the next one. So pause that and then let that one. There we go. Yeah. You guys hear that okay? Yeah. All right.
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm it. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
All right. Here. Okay. It's an okay video. I like it. It was one of the originals, but there's a few things in it I don't agree with. Anybody pick up on them?
Forcing the woman to go.
Okay, maybe, right?
Maybe
Forcing somebody. You can't force anybody, right? What else?
you know, with that woman, it says, don't take anyone that's going to slow you down, and she's clearly slowing them down, but
Right.
they also
So
saved her.
there are some people that are pretty tough to deal with sometimes when they get stressful, right? When they get stressed. What about the other woman in the break room? Okay, that is the #1 answer by all the people I've ever taught. Knock her out. Do you really want to be the person found pummeling a coworker in a closet? Now, I'm pretty easy to knock out. I've got a glass jaw. I've been knocked out a few times, but not everybody's so easy to knock out as me. So maybe not knock her out. What can you do with somebody like that?
Get something, tell them to bite down on it, maybe?
Give them a job, right? Distract them. That's what we want to do. Is we want to distract them, and it can be a completely useless job. They're so panicked right now; they don't understand that it's useless. They're just like, okay, great, it'll be great. You can give them a piece of paper and say, hey, write down everybody's name and address that's in the room here with us, or something stupid like that, and it'll calm them down and it'll give them a purpose, and they'll kind of get out of your way. Okay. What else? What else in the video didn't you like? Yeah.
They just kind of evacuated just to the outside. It'd be like getting away from the...
Yeah, you're like, where am I running to? I don't know. As far away as I can get, right? Or short burst anyway, like 200 meters. All right, let's go again, right? You run as far away as you can get, right? Don't stay right there. Anything else? Talk to me about the very beginning when the obvious off-duty cop with his cool cop glasses and cop haircut comes in. I mean, the bad guy, right? And shoots the security guard, the gal standing next to him, and then what does he do? If you remember. Well, right then, he takes the third round, turns around, and there's that guy standing there. Yeah, so there's a guy standing there with a briefcase. right? Maybe 10 feet away, something like that. And what did he do? He turned and ran. How'd that go? Not so well, right? Could he hide? Nope. What could he have done? Fought. He could have done something, right? There are documented cases in active shooter incidents of people fighting and making the difference, saving other people's lives, okay, by doing that. What did they do on the 4th plane on 9/11?
Yeah.
They fought, right? They figured out that this wasn't going to go well. And by fighting, you may risk injury or losing your life. You may win that fight. Who knows, right? But I can guarantee that running didn't pan out so well, right? So if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be good, right? I'm gonna go out with half his ear in my mouth and this thumb in his eyeball or whatever. It's gonna be ugly, but it's gonna be worth it. So basically, this video is giving you some options. Okay, we'll talk about it, refer back to it as we go through this. But what I'm getting at is these are 3 options. It is not try this, then that, then this. It is here's 3 options. You're smart, intelligent human beings. Pick the option that best suits your scenario. If hiding is best for you right now, then hide. If it's best to run, then run. If you have to fight, freaking go for it, right? And the best way that I found to, let's see. You guys seen this commercial?
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
So that's really what it is though, right? We can make decisions. Oh, it's playing. Okay, hang on, sorry. Don't need that anymore. Okay. We can make good decisions, right? Just because I tell you to do something here today doesn't mean you have to do it. If you have a proverbial running car, please take it. Okay, come on. I'm not a PowerPoint person. Just walked up.
It's not locked up.
Run show.
Got 5.
I can't even move the mouse. That's how dumb I am. But if you have a proverbial running car, take that car, okay? If fight is your best option, do it. I don't want you to do something because I told you to. I want you to do something because it's the best choice for you right now. Okay, so let's talk about it. Find yourself in an active incident. However you found out about it. Maybe you saw it, maybe you heard about it, maybe you were notified about it. We've got these options: run, hide, fight. Anytime I do something, I give up something and I gain something. There is no such thing as a free gift. Okay? So, if I choose to drive a Nissan Leaf, what do I give up? Yeah, manliness. One of our computer guys got one and I told me the other day, he says, hey, I unplugged your car to charge my iPod. Sorry. What else? Can't tow anything with one of those. Can't haul a lot. What do you gain? Mileage, tax credits. You know, there's some advantage to it, right? We choose to drive a big old truck. I can tow stuff. I can, you know, get freaking real into ladies, right? But am I going to get good gas mileage? It's going to cost me twice as much on insurance. I go to put tires on it, costs me twice as much to put tires on it. So everything is give and take, right? So anytime you do something, you should be thinking, am I running and is this giving me an advantage? And the advantage I'm gaining, is it worth what I'm giving up? Okay. We'll refer back to that as we go through here. You should be able to make a good decision based on that thought process. So let's talk about running. Some people tell me they don't like running, sounds chicken, like you're running away. So we'll use a military term for running. It's tactical exfiltration, okay? You guys feel better about it now? Our goal is to get out and get away, right? And how far? How far away are we going to get? As far away as we can, right? You should have some ideas in mind, your workplace, wherever you are, where you could run to and be relatively safe, right? Large buildings, terrain features, anything like that that's going to protect you from those bullets, things like that. If you have a police station next door, go ahead and run there. Good idea, right? You'd be surprised how many people have offices across from the PD, and they're like, oh, I'm going to run to Firestone. Like, but the department's right there, right? You know, go somewhere that's advantageous. Should you run to your car? Maybe. Maybe if you're at Daniel Summit Lodge. Okay, but what if I run to my car and I work at University of Utah? Yeah, now it's friggin' I-15 at 5 o'clock in the parking lot. Nobody's getting out there. But we should have a plan where we're running to. We should only run if it's advantageous to us. You know, if I'm in a concrete room with 4 walls, why should I leave? That makes sense? You know, we did a large-scale exercise with the National Guard. And we had several SWAT teams in there clearing their big building there in Draper, right off the freeway. And we found some National Guard guys in a Hummer hiding, because they've got a shop there. And the guys I was with were like, get out, get out. I was like, no, stay in. You're in an armored vehicle. Go ahead and stay there, right? Don't run unless it's advantageous. There's that, what am I gaining and what am I giving up all the time? Okay, so I'm running. Should I call 911? Yeah, like when it's safe, right? I don't want you, I've seen people on their phone walking into stuff, right? Let alone running. Okay? I want you to find you knocked out by that concrete pole there with your phone on 911. Okay, because you're not paying attention to where you're going. So when you're safe and you can, go ahead and call 911. When shouldn't you call 911? Okay, if the shooter's there, it would give away your position. What else? If you're hiding, like the gal in the video, silence her phone, right?
Once first responders are already there.
Yeah, how about if there's 100 cop cars out front? We know, right? It happens all the time. Okay, there's anybody ever worked dispatch? Yeah, there's 3 dispatchers sitting in there, and they're getting 50 911 calls plus all the radio traffic. Do you think they're going to be able to answer them all? No. So if you know a 911's already been contacted, we're trying to get it taken care of. So just something to think about. And if you do have pertinent information, like, hey, I know the shooter, it's Jimmy. Is anybody in here, Jimmy? Usually I pick somebody that's in here. You know, and he's angry at his wife or whatever that works here. That would be good information where you might want to call 911 and let us know, because then we can kind of narrow down who we're looking for and where we may head to look.
Or
Location, you know, where's her office, right? West side of the building, number 1 corner, northwest corner, whatever. Or know where he is, absolutely. Okay. If we're running out, this is the last thing I'd request. I'm running out of the building. Let's say there's an active shooter in here and I'm running out this way. Who's running in? Police, right? Maybe not up here. It's going to be a while until they get up here. But if we were down where most of you work, like county buildings, city buildings, if I'm running out, cops are running in, what should I be doing? Yeah, nothing that gets me shot, right? So, hands up, fingers spread, empty hands. I don't want anything in your hands, okay? I don't want purses. I don't want backpacks. Those are a problem for us, right? With improvised explosive devices. I don't need you live streaming it to FacePage. Like, it happens. It happened in Florida at the nightclub. Okay? Are you going to get shot with this in your hand? Maybe. Probably not. But what does it do to all the officers running in? It distracts them, right? their loop gets reset because they're looking for somebody with a gun. What is that? Oh, and they slow down, and it's time taken away from what we're there to do. Okay, so empty hands. Obviously, we'll make exceptions, like, crutches, disabilities, those kind of things. You can take those with you, absolutely. Women, take off your high heels. Okay? Or men, if you choose to wear high heels, take them off. Okay, it'll be a lot easier to run. You can't run very fast in them, I've heard. Okay? So take them off, but keep them with you because it might be 30 degrees outside or 100 degrees outside, and the asphalt's 150. So you might want to have those when you get outside. So, running. Have some places picked out to go to ahead of time. Get far away. When you're safe, then you can start making those 911 calls and those kind of things. Pretty simple, right? You can teach your kids to do that, right? I had a kindergartner, took him over to meet his teacher, and I kind of freaked her out when I asked what their plan is if there's a shooting at their school, because that's all I think about. And her eyes get all big, and don't worry. And their plan was crap, frankly. Like, let's pile all the kids in a corner. Yeah, that's a good idea. And they had an exterior door in his classroom. So on the way home, I just talked to my son. I said, hey, if you hear, he knows what gunshots sound like. You hear gunshots, there's a problem in your school. I want you to hit that exterior door and run home. I don't live far away. 100 kids running in 100 different directions is a lot harder to engage than 30 kids in a pile. Okay? So have some plans, talk to your family, talk to your employees about those, and have them set ahead of time. Any questions about running? Or tactical exfiltration, excuse me. Hiding. Hiding can be actually really effective. In Trolley Square, there were 2 people hidden about 25 feet away from the gunman for 2 hours before cops found them. They were hiding under a kiosk, so basically like half of this table with drapes just like this over it, and they were just underneath it, hiding there. Okay, no ballistic protection, just simply hiding and being quiet. Okay, people look for people where people usually are. If I want to go shoot somebody in a school, I don't go to the supply closet. I don't go to the bathroom. I go to classrooms. Okay, so find a place that is easy to secure where people usually are not. And then think about it. How could I secure this door? How could I slow this bad guy down? What are some things I could do? So let's talk about doors really quick. And I'm going to wander around here, so be patient with me. We talk about doors in 2 fashions, in-swing and outswing. Okay? This is obviously an outswing door. Okay? And it's from your point of reference. So that swings out. Door in the back, in-swing. Okay? Door on the front of your house. You answer in the door. In-swing. Okay, which kind of door is easier to kick down? So your doors are backwards. You're welcome. Safety tip for the day, go and turn your door around. Okay? Yeah, so it's easier to kick down. It'd be easier for me to kick this door, assuming the glass wasn't here, to kick it down this way than it would to kick it in. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's kind of how we talk about doors. So your office door is probably in swing. Most conference room doors are going to swing out. Most will swing out because they'll cut out alcoves and hallways, and they'll swing out into the hallway. So, that's not, some of them are different, they all change, but that's just kind of a generalization, right? So let's talk about that. Let's say you found yourself in a supply closet or something like that. Let's talk about the video. The gal in the room with the copy machine, silence her phone, turn off the lights. Good idea, bad idea? Good idea to lock the door. Good idea to turn off the lights. Good idea to silence the phone. What might not have been such a good idea? Sitting by the door. What else? The copy machine. Why was that not a good idea? Yeah, how did she move it? Right? It's on wheels. Okay? It is on wheels. So if I'm the bad guy and I open that door, there's a copy machine there and I just go push it out of the way. What do I now know?
Someone's in there.
Somebody's in there, right? There's no way that copy machine got in front of the door without somebody being in this room. I would suggest move the copy machine to a corner, turn off the lights, lock the door, climb behind it, right? Opens the door, copy room, lights out, nobody's here. Good chance to just move on, okay? He's not gonna search behind everything. He's not gonna search under everything, okay? It's just, people are lazy, right? They are. People are lazy. So, think about that. So let's think about your office. Your office door probably swings in. My office door swung in, and I heard shooting outside in the hallway. Can't really get out right now. My best course is to stay in my office. What should I do? Lock it? Good. What else? Locking it only works if they don't have keys, right? It's a coworker. You can lock everything you want. You have the most secure building in the world. If they have access, it doesn't matter. Okay, lock it.
You have the rope and the straps up there, you can
Okay.
on top of those arms.
So now we're getting to we could barricade this door, right, and buy us some time. Things we could do to stop this door from opening. So think about your office door. This is actually my office door. It swings in. Okay. I went into a tweaker house once and saw one of these. You guys know what tweakers are, right? Law-abiding challenge citizens. Is what we call them. Okay. And I saw one of these, just for demonstration purposes, we'll pretend this was my door in my office. And I saw one of these sit next to the door. Okay. So if this door swung in, the idea is you wedge this underneath there, right? And the door won't swing in, just like I've got up there. But I bought a couple of these, and these are complete crap. They break. I broke it with 2 hits with my shoulder, not a big deal. But I did the exact same thing with one of these. This is a ratcheting cargo bar, right? So there I set it underneath my door handle, there, onto the floor, and then I started hitting it with my shoulder. Okay. I hit it about 12 times really hard. You can see here where I started to strip the teeth out. But it was a workout, okay? And the next teeth just caught it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. For an in-swing door, some type of, we're creating this triangular shape and holding that door shut. Those work really well. What else could I do?
If there's the little thing on top of the door, you tie that.
The pneumatics, right. You're gonna see the pneumatics mostly on outswing doors like there in the back with the crash bar. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. I'll show you how to do that. But what if it swings in? Most in-swing doors aren't going to have pneumatics on them. And if they do, they're going to be on the outside where you can't access. What about, I don't know, these are state contract door wedges. You guys might have something similar. Would that work? It'll help. It depends on the flooring. Sometimes they don't even hold doors open, right? Okay. But the principle is sound. So what about this? Just a wrecking bar, right? So I grabbed one of these and put it underneath the door. And I did not use my office for this one because I destroyed the carpet. And there's no way that door's coming open. Absolutely no way. It's difficult for you to see, but basically you slide underneath the door like this, kick it underneath, and that door's not coming open. I did it on linoleum, did it on concrete, did it on carpet. Cost me about $8. The one fallacy or drawback to this is if it sticks out too far on the other side of the door, he can kick it out, right? So I fixed that, right? Shortened it up, too close to the ground. Nobody's gonna be able to kick that. If they do kick it, I went ahead and put an edge on it, sharpened it, so it's a self-correcting problem. It's gonna cut your toe wide open if you try to boot that out of there. What else is it now? It's a weapon and a breaching tool. Okay, so if I needed to break some glass, I can break glass with this. If I take this chair, pick it up and throw it at that window, what does it do? Bounces right back, right? If I take this, go to the corner of the window, and all I gotta go is pop like that, the whole window will shatter. because I'm attacking the corner of the window where the frame is supporting it with all my energy into a fine point. And then that window will shatter. Pretty easy to clear. So some type of wedge. Those work well. Triangular prop, a wedge. One other thing that I could do. Think about your office. I know it's hard for you to see this door here, but this is an in-swing door like we were in an office. Chair? Like Batman, right?
Switched under the doorknob there.
Yeah, so that's, I hate Hollywood. Like, you go to a jury trial and they're like, why didn't you fingerprint the crack pipe? Well, because this isn't CSI Miami, right? It doesn't work that way, you know? I've tried chairs, I've never been able to get one to work. How about, this is my office, right? This is the sidewall of my office, or whatever. I've done it right there. What if this is 7 feet 2 inches. What if I had a 7 foot 2 inch 2x4 and I laid it on the ground and it butted up against my wall and my door? Is anybody getting that door open? No. I got big dudes on my SWAT team, dumber than a box of rocks. Their only job is to break stuff. They're like, me breaky, right? And they're okay. And they'd have a hard time getting through that door, right? They'd literally have to peel it off hinge side. That's how they breach that, is they'd attack the hinges and breach hinge side. That's an amazing barricade, okay? So, you know, you look at your office, you measure the wall, get yourself a 2x4, cost you $2, cut it to the right length, and stick it behind your door. I did the same thing with this ratcheting cargo bar against this bookcase, which is on the opposing wall. That door's not coming open, okay? So that's in-swing doors. Let's talk about out-swing doors. So pneumatics, heard that a couple times. Let's try it. It's kind of funny, you hear all these experts, they tell you, do this, do that, but none of them know how to do it. So I literally believe in trying stuff and seeing if it works. So these pneumatics, these are the tops of these doors. And they kind of work in a scissor action. When I open it, they spread out, right? So the idea is if I can stop that from spreading, I'll make that door difficult to open, okay? Now we've already established it's a lot easier for me to kick this door in than try to pull it open, okay? So you don't have to have near as good of a barricade to stop somebody from pulling a door open. So the easiest, we'll try it first, I don't know if it'll work. Carabiner, okay? I take that carabiner, stick it on there. Now what's gonna happen if the door starts rocking, it's going to want to slide off and work its way up. Take your shoelace and tie it over here. Shoelace is all it'll take to stop it from moving down there. Without breaking the door at Daniel's Summit Lodge. Okay. Yeah, you can get it open a little bit. Remember, he's pulling on it, right? So he doesn't have near the strength. If you really wanted to get in here and you're the bad guy pulling on this door, now what are you going to do? I've created a little bit of a gap. Yeah, you're probably going to stick your fingers in there, right? So you can get some leverage. And what are you guys going to do? You're going to short him 4 digits, right? So 4 fingers laying there on the ground. Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Did you reset his loop? If you cut off 4 fingers, did you reset his loop? Yeah. Okay. So that works. This stuff's awesome. Tubular webbing. Everything here has 2 purposes. Oh. What are these, other than carabiners? Brass knuckles, right? And TSA doesn't even take them away from you. Okay? TSA's dumb.